Thank you for being here this evening, and thank you, Dr. Tedros, not simply for your leadership at the World Health Organization, but for your clarity in recognizing that this is not simply a technology issue. It is a public health issue, and a human one. Behind us stands the Lost Screen Memorial. Not statistics, not avatars, not data points, children. Each name belonged to a child who was loved beyond measure. A child whose laughter once filled a kitchen, whose shoes once waited by a front door, whose future once felt limitless. And now their faces ask the world questions we can no longer avoid. How many more millions of children will be harmed by products that, while innovative, are still designed without sufficient safeguards? And when will children be able to enjoy the extraordinary potential of technology without it compromising their well-being? For too long, we've accepted a dangerous bargain that modern connection must come at the cost of the innocence of childhood, that innovation excuses injury, and that speed matters more than safety. But we would never accept this logic anywhere else. We did not tell parents to create their own seatbelts. We did not ask children to test unsafe medicine. We did not shrug at poisoned water or defective toys and call it the price of progress. We acted, and now the world must act again. Because children today are being shaped by systems designed to capture attention at absolutely any cost. Relentless algorithms, exploitative engagement, and endless exposure to harmful content that they are not seeking out. When a joyful and athletic young girl goes online looking for healthy recipes and instead is fed body dysmorphia content and pro-anorexia videos, leading her to be hospitalized for months with a severe eating disorder, her family sees their vibrant daughter suddenly sick from the social media she logged into. That is Katie. When a kind, warm, handsome teenage boy is overcome by a breakup with his girlfriend and goes onto social media looking for quotes of affirmation to help him get through it, the platforms preyed upon his pain. And instead of just offering him the words of encouragement he was searching for, they offered him ideas of how he should take his life. And he did. That is Mason. And when a beautiful young girl has a pizza and movie night with her parents, they're in the living room, and before she heads to bed, she asks her mom for a cord to charge her phone. And in the early hours of the morning, her mother finds that her daughter has hanged herself. Overwhelmed by the online bullying she had been subjected to, silently suffering while keeping a brave face for those who loved her most, at 14 years old, that young girl followed the detailed instructions of a video that was pushed to her feed, showing her exactly how to take her life. And she did. That is England. As her father, Tony, shared with us a few years ago, if love could have saved our children, they would all still be here. Because these children were deeply loved in the same way that you and we love our own children. These stories are not isolated, they are consistent, and they are not the fault of the child nor the parent. Across lived experience, court cases, authoritative medical and media journals, and testimony from families, a clear and urgent picture is emerging. At the same time, advancing technologies such as AI are not just repeating past mistakes, they are accelerating and amplifying them. The risks are compounding. We are seeing new forms of harms emerge faster than our systems and ourselves are prepared to respond, affecting children at alarming scale and across borders. But these outcomes are not inevitable. And prevention begins with one simple principle. Children must be safe by design, not safe by chance. Because danger now travels globally, instantly, invisibly, and intimately. And our protections must do the same. And as technology advances at extraordinary speed, we cannot simply stand by waiting for the damage to catch up with us. This is why brave parents, such as Amy Neville, here with us today, are turning unimaginable grief into action. Amy lost her 14-year-old son, Alexander, a child targeted through a platform engineered for engagement, not for protection. And she'll be sharing her story with you shortly. Today, she is here not only as a mother, but as an advocate and an activist, working to ensure that no other family has to experience the same loss. Her voice and the voices of so many others remind us of what is at stake. Children are no longer just participants in digital spaces. They are too often the product. Because when they tick the box and they sign the terms and conditions, they don't realize that they may actually be signing away their life. Because the small print didn't spell out that it was going to prey upon their vulnerabilities and drive them to content they weren't looking for to keep them engaged for as long as possible. They didn't know that the platforms valued profit over people. And yet when we've seen this in other sectors, we did not accept it. We would never accept a food system that knowingly exposed children to harm. We should not accept a digital one either. This moment demands more than concern. It demands courage. The courage to regulate where regulation is needed, the courage to demand transparency where secrecy has enabled harm, and the courage to say clearly and collectively, our children are not products. They are not experiments, and they are not expendable. The decisions made in places such as the World Health Assembly transcend far beyond these next few days. They ripple outward into schools, into homes, into hospitals, and into childhoods across the globe. So we must ask ourselves, will we look back at this moment as one where through collective action, the design of technology shifted towards safety, dignity, and well-being? Or will we accept more names being added to memorials like this? Because if an adult is barely able to survive the bullying and predation of the online world and the dangers that these platforms bring, how is a child? Let this not only be a moment to reflect, as Dr. Tedros said, let it be a mandate for action. So speak up. Demand better from the platforms shaping our children's lives. Be an example in your own social media use of how to be intentional in every moment that you like, that you comment, that you post, that you share. Hold your community to the same standard. Support laws and leaders committed to child safety by design, transparency, and accountability online. Write to your elected officials. Ask what they are doing to protect children in digital spaces. And join the parents, campaigners, health experts, and young people around the world calling for global standards that put child well-being before algorithmic profit. Because when enough voices refuse to accept harm as the cost of connection, change becomes inevitable. One day, generations from now, children will look back at this era with absolute disbelief that adults once allowed digital spaces to exist without basic protections for young people. But let's do something now so that they will also look back and see that during this increasingly polarized time, where people can barely agree on basic facts, that beyond politics or party lines, beyond demographics, incomes, or ideologies, beyond race or religion, we could all universally agree on one thing. We want our children to be safe. Let our children look back at this moment and let them feel proud of us, that we chose something better for them and for us all. Thank you.
With Meghan Markle addressing the World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland, this year. So in the comment section, one comes in to say, "Thank you so much, Meghan," and are saying, "This is so amazing," and are saying, "Thank you for addressing Meghan Markle." So what do you think about this? Like, comment, like, share, and also subscribe to the channel. Bye bye and ciao ciao.